Hey guys, John Cavelli here. Wanted to talk about one of our other projects here in the exclusive area of Hills of Kingswood. Today we're looking at our latest project, which is in frame stage, as you can see behind me. This house is a Mediterranean style traditional house. It's about 13,000 square foot house. It's a pretty large house on a large slab, so always want to talk about the actual foundation that your house sits on. I think that's the most important thing from a structural standpoint when you're doing a home. But this is actually a Tella Firma foundation, which is more of a elevated foundation. It helps whenever you have volatile soils, like in this particular lot. The expansion and contraction of the dirt, a Tella Firma foundation is probably more of the way to go as an option. Of course, this is always engineered out, but this is a strong option that we decided to move forward with. And today I have Tony Lakey with me. He's one of the representatives of Tella Firma, here to talk about kind of a little bit more about Tella Firma and how it works.
Thanks, John. What a Tella Firma slab is basically it's a suspended structural slab. You come in, you pour the foundation, it's on piers, and then there's a lifting mechanism on each one of the piers. We come in after the slab is poured, we elevate the slab, and then as you can see, you frame on it.
Right.
So what's happened is now this slab is not touching the ground.
Correct.
Everything here is suspended and sitting on top of the piers. Once that thing is lifted, you can go to frame, and then you have a suspended structural slab.
Is there a particular height? Like this one is, I think, what, 9 inches?
I believe so.
This one up?
Yes, sir. So, what happens is it's taken up 1/3 of an inch at a time, so there's 3 turns to the inch. So the crew will start on one side and sweep back and forth until they reach the desired height of the lift.
It's kind of like a mathematical equation. One person has to do revolution, next person has to do it, because you can't lift it all at the same time, so we don't want to put too much pressure on a pier. Or
right, it's row by row, and like I say, it's 3 turns to the inch, so they go row by row and sweep across the slab, and if we did 9 inches, it would be 27 turns per bolt. And then you have a suspended slab, so nothing's touching the ground.
So Tella Firma can actually be on a concrete pier and or a helical pier, correct?
Yes, sir. The pier doesn't matter. As long as that pier doesn't do anything, it doesn't give. As long as this pier stays solid, we push against it, the slab comes up, and then we create a void space.
Is there a mechanism that goes in after we pour the foundation, correct? I'm pretty sure that's how you guys
it depends on design.
You've done more of these than I have. So.
Yes, sir. When you've done 4,000 of them, they all kind of run together.
Correct,
but on your application, you did have a helical pier and a concrete pier.
Correct.
So the piers, you can use concrete, helical, that pier doesn't matter.
Okay, good deal. So let me ask you this. So with the foundation actually coming up off the ground, so since we're actually creating the void between the bottom half of the foundation, or underneath the foundation and the dirt.
Yes, sir.
How do we keep water from going in there?
Well, that's a good question, John. So now we've got a void space all the way around this entire house. So what we've done is come in that void space, we've put in a drain.
Okay.
So there's a drain around the entire perimeter of this home, and it drains all the way to the street. So any moisture that comes around, finds its way to that void space that we created, hits that drain, and then is taken to the street via the drainage. Yes, sir.
Hey, Tony, actually talk to us about what this is. I mean, I know it's a soil retainer, but actually talk to us about why it's there and what its purpose is.
Sure, John. So what this is as you mentioned, it's a soil retainer. So as the slab is being lifted, it starts on the ground and then is lifted. So this void space that is created once the slab is lifted, we have to put in this soil retainer to keep the dirt and the gravel from migrating back underneath the slab. And by doing that, it creates a bed for our gravel and our pipe to sit in, so we can install the drain as it is designed.
Right. So as this stands right now, what you did is with the drainage in this particular community in the Hills of Kingswood, has one ever been done like this?
To my knowledge, John, this is a full system, and I haven't seen any go in to this level.
So this would be the first on this. Okay, good deal.
Yes, sir.
Well, at least we know we have 100% coverage, which is, if I was at home, if this was my house, maybe one day it might be. But I would definitely do this for my house. It's 100% coverage.
Yes, sir.
Makes perfect sense.
This is the Cadillac of slabs in the Hills of Kingswood. Yes, sir. If you don't do something, you've created a void space, and water's going to find that void. You've done everything as the builder you can do to prevent water from being under this slab. You've put in the drain, and it goes to the street.
Got you. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate all the information. John. Like I said, I know you've done a million of these, and I mean, we're always learning. Every house is a prototype. Every house is different, so it's always good to keep, it's a refresher course for everybody.
Yes, sir, John.
So, cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.